Hey, Vaughan, I see who was it? The Prime Minister went wandering down to look at the CRL project. And there was a bit of an announcement there.
Yeah, Max. Unsurprisingly and expectedly, the questions were asked, how much is the budget going to be blown by? Not only timelines, but how many billions more are we going to need to finish this project off? No one wanted to answer the question. Look, we know globally, everywhere, all projects' budgets are blowing. But running into a mayoral election, less than 1 month away, why aren't they opening the books on this?
I saw the operations manager saying that the blowout number, he does know it, because he said it's out there. It's a big, long number.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, by God, it's probably double digits now. So we're down to 4.6 million or 4.5 million. Billion.
Yeah.
It's going to go out, I would suggest, over 10, 12 billion dollars.
Yeah. So if we look at how the significance of the blowout on that budget and who will be mayor for the next 3 years, how they're going to manage that, because it is a shared venture between Auckland City and the government, right? So there's both have a vested interest, but we're talking big bucks. So it comes down to what is the financial nous of the existing candidates to deal with that.
Because my view is, and it's not shared, no one else has shared my view, but we should put this whole project on hold because people are not going back to the city. So the population is not going back yet, but what I'm told is, hey, Max, wait, if you do the city up and it all looks nice, people will start coming back. And that could happen. But look, you're right, it does need research, it needs investigation, it needs somebody with a mind to go, well, one of the options is to shut the whole project down until we feel comfortable. Or the other one is, are we getting played along here or whatever? Now, the engineer in that report was very interesting. So what he said, Vaughan, was, hey, the cost of all projects have gone up. This is not just because of political stuff. It's all projects. And that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, and we have to be objective, and that is absolutely the truth. And I think where that comes back to, with us likely, we're getting a new mayor in the first week of October. Of the 4 candidates that are left in the race, which one would you want leading the city plus cleaning up the... Now, I disagree with you on mothballing the project. I think finish it off. Allow the city to breathe. Whether the people are going to come back or not, I do see how it will be an amazing asset for the city, but we don't need to take it any further. We've bitten off more than we can chew, and we need to get onto that. So, from your perspective, who would you like to be leading the mess?
Going back to it, Vaughan, you and I are going to have a debate.
Come on, we're going to go here, bro.
All right, let's get into it, because if you're going to go from 4.5 billion and it went to 12, I'm going to say, Vaughan, you're going to actually triple the price. And can the city afford it? And that's what my concern is. And that's why I think there's a great urgency. Maybe we put it on hold. But look, let's drop that. I agree with you. Who's the best candidate? And you and I have already called it. We know who we feel about it, but we review it all the time, don't we?
Yep.
And of course, we're now looking at on the right, Viv Beck still sitting there.
Yep.
Why? I have no idea. She should be out of there. CRL, for goodness sake, stop diluting the votes. CNR.
Yep.
Yeah, stop. I'm getting confused. So CNR, stop diluting the vote and get her out of there.
Yep.
Now then it leaves Craig Lord and now Wayne left behind. My view is Wayne is the best candidate in there. What's your view?
Oh, that's one of the few things we do agree on. Now let's come down to the 4 candidates that's left. We've got Afiso, who is just another puppet mayor. Like I've said, a sunburned
He's on the right. He's going to get all the right.
I'm sorry. 2.0. So we're just going to get more of what we've had for the last 6 years. And also a lot of this rubbish that we're dealing with in Auckland City that needs to be cleaned up, it's happened on his watch. That's when he bothers to turn up to a council meeting, because he's the laziest councillor. So the worst attendance of any councillor.
Do you know what proportion it is? It's very, very low. It's less than 50% he turns up for meetings, doesn't he?
No, I think it's a little higher than that. I think it was something like 60-odd in the first term and 80 in the second. But the key point is that, we've been in like war, siege mentality for the last 3 years with the pandemic. And the best he can do is be the worst performer, but he wants to be the mayor. No thanks. I don't want a lazy hump as my mayor. So... bye-bye, Afiso, as far as I'm concerned. And, he wants bikes going over the bridge. I mean, how stupid. So for the person that can't think for themselves, Afiso is your man. So that leaves us with 3 others. We've got Viv Beck, okay? Now, Viv Beck has got a campaign in tatters. The CNR, the whole thing in the background, financially in tatters.
We've done this to death, haven't we?
We've done it to death, right? And so we know that. Why would you want someone who can't run a campaign, as nice as Viv is, leading the city?
So who are the other 3?
So no for me. So we've got 2 left, right?
2 left.
Yeah, we've got 2 left. So there's 4 left. So Afiso's there, Viv's there, Craig Lord. Okay, Craig Lord is centre-right as well. And look, Craig is a hellishly nice guy. My issue, and I'm sure we're going to agree on this, Craig has no background in large, complex organisations, and the type of fiscal nous required to perform here, he doesn't have it.
Look, if he's a nice guy, but he may be one of these guys who actually are just the nice guy with a mock front, and maybe he's got a bit of spine behind him. But with Wayne, you know he's got it, and you know he's brutal, and you know he's going to go in there and sort things out. With this other guy, and look, you and I do agree.
Yeah.
If he hasn't had the experience of large corporate, he's not going to be able to read the books. He's not going to be able to. He's going to have the bureaucrats coming at him with the BS, trying to convince him otherwise. Whereas Wayne knows all this. He knows what they try to do, and he'll cut through it.
Yeah, and so what we're going to get back to, and this is the real bad news, Afiso is most likely to be the Mayor of Auckland come October because the 3 centre-right candidates are going to split that vote. Now, it's got to be on the National Party's head because, their puppet arm, communities and residents, hasn't had the chutzpah to get in there and say, Viv, pull back, like Leo did. He did the right thing.
He did the right thing.
And choose the right candidate.
Yep.
Look, Craig's not going to listen to anybody because he's been running on his own ticket. So he's going to believe in his dream, and I respect that. But, the thing is, if we wake up in the first week of October and Wayne has missed out by 20 to 30,000 votes, thank you very much, National Party, for stuffing that up.
Well, I've got to put on Craig Lord as well. He's not actually up there as high yet, but I think his poll numbers are going to lift in the next poll coming out. And but what he's got to do is, am I actually going to have a chance or not, or is Wayne going to take it? If not, step aside.
Yeah, and look, I'm really keen to keep talking about this, Max, because I think a lot of people don't understand that, Craig has run quite an impressive campaign considering it. He's like the Burt Munro.
On no budget.
He's got no money, and he's got hoardings out there. He's doing most work himself. He's not got any sort of resource of which Viv, Afiso, or Wayne have got. So you've got to give him credit that the good Kiwi battler...
that doesn't make a good mayor.
No, I'm not saying that makes him the mayor, but I'm saying that for a man that's done all that on his own, he's unlikely to say, oh, look, I'll be a nice guy and step aside and let Wayne come through. So there is reasoning, whereas there's no excuse for Viv Beck and CNR to continue because they've proven...
We're going to disagree twice today. I think he should step aside too if his polling's still down. I got a feeling he's going to lift up the next poll.
Yep.
Let's assess then.
Yep.
But, Craig, you are a nice guy, but use your nous as well.
Yep.
Don't compromise the right.
Yep. And I think it just comes back to, look, you and I are not on Wayne Brown's ticket, right? We've just identified that he has the nous and the capability at a fiscal level because those CCOs, the 4 council-controlled organisations, your Water Cares, your Auckland Transport, they will eat the Afisos, the Vivs, and the Craig Lords for breakfast. So that's why we need a Wayne in there because he has the ability to actually get through. He's done it before.